Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the new Maruti Baleno with the Toyota logo, and straight away we are going to be opening the engine bay. There you see, that is the engine which they say is new, but it's the same as the older engine, minor updates here and there. There's insulation right there, and the change at the front is little distinct here because in the older model it looked identical to the Baleno, but here it gets a Camry inspired face, so you get this chrome thingy going on, the Toyota logo of course, and the lights are not identical to the Baleno because Baleno gets those three sort of a DRL thingy, but this one is different because here you can see there is a bulb inside, but you know the light is slightly different. That is the projector halogen here, and there's some chrome inside. Now please note that this car is available in 4 variants. The base most is the E variant, then comes the S variant. This is the S variant, after this is the G variant, and then the top spec is the V variant. And today we are actually reviewing a lower variant of this car, which is quite exciting because thoda bahut alag ho gaya. Anyways, you see there's some carbon fiber sort of finish, no fog lamp on the lower variant, there's chrome here. Actually the thing is, I've done a proper vlog, a very dedicated vlog of the top spec Baleno. You can click somewhere here to see it. So इसमें हम lower variant की आज बात करने वाले हैं. 15-inch wheels, higher variant obviously gets 16-inch, 185, 65, 15 with this wheel cap of course. By the way, compared to the lowest variant, the E, the S actually gets body colored door handles as well as outside rear view mirror, and it also gets indicator here, and these mirrors with a press of a button they can be put inside, so power adjustable. So certain features which are there on the S, mainly for the audio system, बहुत ही minor changes है. E is also decently loaded with 4 power windows. It also gets a rear spoiler, yes that's right, along with a high mounted stop lamp which is standard across the range I guess. But no rear wiper washer here, which by the way is available in the top spec trim. It says S here. You see the updated lights right there, which will remind you of the WRV, okay, and name of the car model right there. Indicators functioning at the moment. Rear parking sensors, but no rear camera on this car because obviously it's a low variant. Let's open the boot. So first and foremost, the boot is actually decent size, but the boot carrying capacity is reduced by around I think 30 liters or something of that sort. However, the big change is not there at all. There's no change as such. The loading lip is quite high, so it's a little bit of a difficulty there, stuffing in stuff. And then the spare wheel obviously can't be an alloy because the car is not running an alloy, but I think you get the same spare wheel across all the variants. Parcel Shelf is a feature which is added on this trim I believe. And let's just shut this. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth. Hunting for the exhaust. Kidhar hai bhai? Exhaust छुपाते क्यों तुम लोग exhaust? There it is. I think yeah, there is the exhaust of the vehicle. So as I see it, even the lower rims are actually quite loaded. The price of this car is rupees 8.66 lakhs on road Mumbai, making it quite value for money. Okay, it's a little bit more expensive than the Baleno. Door pockets are decent size. You get 4 speakers. Again, base trim does not get it. This one gets 4 speakers. It gets an audio system and all that stuff. Okay, there is no center armrest even in the top end variant, and no adjustable headrest either, which is disappointing. In fact, no rear AC vents, but you get this cubby hole to put stuff. You get a charging socket, 12-volt charging socket. Higher trims obviously get proper USB slots as well. Legroom and knee room is actually quite good. Scooped out seat back, but no magazine holders here. Under thigh support is okay, not that great. Headroom is slightly tight for someone as tall as me, and there is a handle here, handle there along with the hook. Now the interesting bit is, it has this button for emergency. You press this button and it goes into panic mode I believe, because this is a rental. It's going to get yellow plates, it's not registered. It's a brand new car. You can see the dashboard design. That is where some things are different, because the Baleno actually gets navy blue inserts. This one happens to get beige. So I think the cabin definitely looks livelier because of the beige treatment. In fact, you can see the seats also are quite nice with this sort of beige treatment. Door pockets are big enough. I press this button and there the outside rear view mirrors close. This feature is not available in the base trim, which has been added in the S trim. And this is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, power window lock, and obviously power window controls as well, and one touch up and down for the driver's side. That's quite nice. Stop start system button. This is the headlight leveler. There you can see there is a proper dead pedal. There's some storage area here. Lot of buttons in the top spec trim because it also gets a 360-degree parking camera. It gets a heads-up display. All that is obviously missing on the lower trim, but hey, that's fine. Those features are not really essential. Now because the lights are on, you can't really see anything. Now the top spec trim actually gets a 9-inch Smart Play Pro Plus audio system, infotainment system. This one gets the Smart Play Studio, which is 7-inch in size, and the variant after this, I think the G1 also gets similar one. It gets Apple CarPlay, it gets Android Auto connectivity as well. In fact, compared to the base trim, this is added as well as this is also added. Yeah, you get audio controls on the steering wheel, which is not there on the base trim. So I'm quite impressed by the fact that even the base trim gets this nice climate control air conditioning system, and the AC is obviously a chiller here. Now obviously when you get into reverse, there is no reverse parking camera. Instead you get parking sensors, which are kind of useful here, and then you get this information which tells you what is the mileage you're getting, what is the range and all that stuff. But compared to the top spec variant, a lot of things are missing. No auto dimming inside rear view mirror here. There's a mirror there, plastic sheet still on, and there is light placement on the top. There's no mirror, nothing of that sort here at all. Twin cup holders, there's storage here, but no wireless charging for phone. Even the top spec trim, there's a 12-volt charging socket, there's a USB charging socket, and there's some storage space here as well, which is kind of practical. Glove box is decent size, doesn't get the cooling function. In fact, the instrument cluster is also slightly different here because you do not get that color thingy going on, the multi-information display. So when I browse through this, you can see there's limited amount of information. Obviously in the top spectrum, you also get these graphics of torque and power meter and stuff like that. There you can see. I'm going to rev the motor. Oh my god, it revs till 5,000 RPM. Steering feels nice to hold. Addition over the Maruti version is a Toyota logo here, which actually improves the reliability of this car. In fact, here that emergency button is there. There's another emergency button. A lot of emergency inside this car at the moment. I like the way the dashboard has been done, specifically this beige treatment, which brings in sort of a airy and lively feel inside the cabin when compared to the Baleno, whose interior is a bit dull, to be honest with you guys. Let's use the wipers right away. Yeah, decent amount of spray on offer, cleans the windscreen in no time at all. These are the controls for the lights, of course, and here the usual bits. You can just move stuff around like that. It's kind of a basic system, to be honest, but yeah, it gets the job done. And because it gets 4 speakers, audio quality is also like decent. Let's listen to an audio right away. Chalega ki nahi radio? Yeah, it's not the best to use because itna fluid nahi hai. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, it doesn't work that fluidly well. By the way, physical controls would be a nice addition. That thing is also missing here. So come on, yeah, physical controls are needed. But that 9-inch screen and the top spec variant is absolutely beautiful and nice. Very nice to use as well. Nice graphics too. Plenty of information too. And the 360-degree camera quality could have been better. So as I see it, yeah, this is like for the price, honestly, you're getting worth your money. Let's do one thing. Let's start driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning, putting this into the data mode, which is nothing as such. So chalo dekh lete fuel efficiency kya de rahi gaadi. Into first gear, hazard light off, handbrake down, revving the motor, rest till 5,000 RPM and off we go. Yeah, quite a bit of wheel spin there. Now, this Maruti Baleno facelift with the Toyota logo obviously is identical to drive as the regular Maruti Baleno because yeah, everything is the same. But when you talk about the changes when compared to the older model, a lot has actually changed. So for starters, we've got a new suspension system, we've got new springs, chassis is more or less the same, but the car is now I think 10 mm lower, 5 mm shorter, and around 50 kgs heavier as well. You don't feel that extra weight. But the performance is kind of lackluster from this K12N motor. Now the dual jet was actually offered earlier as well, but now there's only one engine, which is the dual jet. It doesn't get SHVS. It produces 90 horsepower from its 1.2 liter 4-cylinder motor and 130 Newton meters of torque. It obviously gets dual injectors per cylinder, which is actually the dual jet. The result is better fuel efficiency. It has been done in the interest of fuel efficiency, mainly for fuel efficiency. And fuel efficiency is very good indeed. In fact, in the real world, it will return somewhere around 14 to 17 kilometers per liter, depending whether you're driving in the city or out on the highway. Around the corners, it's not as much fun because there is definitely body roll on offer. And you know what? The engine has a decent low end punch. Okay, it's peppy enough, but the mid range is absolutely flat and lackluster. So you have to really ring it out to the top end. It redlines at 6,500 RPM because most of the power lies in the top end. So beyond 4,000 RPM, it kind of wakes up, and between 2 to 4,000 RPM, there's a flat spot. It doesn't really move. Thankfully, the clutch is on the lighter side, and the gearbox is also very slick shifting. You also get the option of automated manual transmission, the AMT automatic, which for Toyota is the first in India. They don't do AMTs at all. They usually do CVTs. Overall performance, I would say, is decent for the city. But in the hills, it really struggles because of the high altitude. It's not able to breathe either. And the result is that you have to keep downshifting, keeping the car in the lowest gear possible. That's the only way you can keep this car moving ahead. Making a quick overtake is actually a difficulty. You have to plan it, otherwise it doesn't happen. I'm driving in second gear. You see, we are in the mid-range, just flat. It's kind of dead. So I'll have to shift into first, and then you run out of juice so fast because it just redlines around 6,500 RPM. Plus, the thing is, the motor is also not really fast revving. The steering, you can see, super light. With one hand, I can twirl it. Super light Lightweight steering wheel, easy to twirl. It actually weighs up decently well at high speeds but doesn't have any feel as such. So not the most dynamic car. Suspension is really soft, so ride quality is good. Although you can hear a bit of the road noise as well as the tire noise. Most of it is well contained, but you hit a bad bump, you can feel it. So low speed ride is actually very good. Mid speed ride, I would say around 50 to 100 kilometers per hour is also nice. Highway speeds, when you hit around 100 kilometers per hour and hit a bump, it kind of bounces, so that vertical movement is definitely there because of the soft suspension. So high speed stability is okay, it's not the best as such. And then I always want to play with the gearbox. Now the earlier version of the Maruti Baleno with the Toyota logo did not have lower variants. Now you have all the 4 variants. So the E is actually equivalent to the base variant of the Baleno, and then there is the S. I've already spoken about the variant lineup as such. The top spec gets everything, but you know what, there is a difference here. This one, the one from Toyota, actually costs slightly more. So for the base variant, you're going to be paying 8,000 more for the Toyota badge version. And then this particular variant, which is the second from base, which happens to be the S variant, you're going to be paying 16,000 rupees more. And then as and when you keep going higher up a trim, you're going to end up paying around 20 to 25,000 rupees more. In fact, top variant ke difference hai 29,000 rupees, which is quite a bit just for the Toyota logo. We just stop here because there's some noise which is coming from your glasses there. Okay, into first gear, there's some unwanted mosquito. If you could exit the car, this thing will not go. Chalo, niklo yahan se. Now rolls up, revving the motor. Traction control, none of that is there in this car. It's there in the AMT standard, but off we go. So I think there are plenty of variants on offer. Okay, must be 7 variants or so. And here we are stuck because the roads are so narrow. This car has Swift written on it boldly because so that people don't confuse it from Toyota, but Toyota doesn't have a badge version of the Swift yet, which means we have to go reverse. There's no reverse parking camera, so that's a bit of an issue. Yeah, overall visibility is actually nice, but then you end up reversing in random places. Oh my god, that car has a horse who might be breathing like crazy well in this high altitude, having crazy performance. That's the reason Maruti does not launch the RS version. People have made RS versions of their own, but they don't need anyone's support. Maruti Suzuki, they can just I mean, they don't need to bring their own RS version. They can just do it themselves, and there we're kind of stuck again. So thoda left mein ghusate hain. Okay, we stalled the car. No, the stop start system it randomly works. Why is the car not working?
You're in gear.
I'm in neutral. Yeah, now it's turned on. There is a stop start system to improve the fuel efficiency of the car.
Again.
Yeah, it's stalling. Okay, we're going to race it. Yeah, we are going to race it a bit. This dude just came without even looking, without even thinking that अरे आगे से भी गाड़ी आ रही है भाई, निकल जा, निकाले 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 निकाले. What do you expect me to do? He's telling me, huh? We are stuck. These are the beautiful roads of India. India is shining. It will come out.
Left my hand.
Thank you so much. It's always nice when you have parking sensors on the outside. That was not a parking sensor, that was a 360-degree parking camera, and off we go! Oh my god, bump! Ooh, you feel all that. You definitely feel all that here in this car because that softness now is good at low speed when you're not really pushing. When you come across a bump now, you can feel that on the inside, and now we've come to a place where again we are climbing up and then the car starts to struggle. This is a car which really does not enjoy the hills. In fact, I'm quite disappointed because the older engine which was there in the Maruti Baleno, that had a lot of grunt and fun factor as well. This one is so well refined and smooth now. You don't have that grunt and rawness anymore. It's kind of losing its character as such. Just stop. Your brakes are fine, but if you brake hard now, it's going to lock up. It's going to make a lot of tire noise. In fact, it has ABS as standard across all trims. Stop start system off. Okay, we are in a hill, so first gear, revving the motor, and off we go. Yeah, the range actually starts at 7.63 lakhs, goes all the way till 11.49 lakhs. This one is 8.66 lakhs. You pay 58,000 more for the AMT. Just avoid that. It's better to have a manual because it's so much fun. Now, there have been circumstances where I've kind of got stuck on a hill. There is where the handbrake came into play. Now I'm just wondering, with the electric parking brake, how will you be able to do that? Well, usually that's paired with an automatic gearbox, so there will not be an issue because you can do left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. And here we go! Yeah, so overall I would say that this is actually a very nice car, but why would you buy the duplicate? Why would you buy the Maruti Baleno with the Toyota logo when you can get the Maruti Baleno with the Suzuki logo? Plain and simple, there are a few reasons for it. The standard warranty on the Baleno happens to be 2 years or 40,000 kilometers, and you can extend that to 5 years or 1 lakh kilometer. But here, with the Maruti Baleno with the Toyota logo, you get a warranty of 1 lakh kilometers all 3 years, whichever is earlier, which is amazing. And you can extend that warranty all the way till 5 years, 2,20,000 kilometers. The moral of the story is, if you put a Toyota badge on anything, your stuff will become more reliable. So I'm going to put the Toyota badge on mine so that I become more reliable as such. Jokes aside, the whole idea here is they're actually charging a slight premium because of the warranty, of course. In fact, to put it into perspective, even the extended warranty costs slightly more on this particular model, which is basically around 20 to 25,000 rupees, whereas in the case of Maruti, it cost around kitna karta hai? Let me think, around 10 to 15,000 rupees more. And because a Mercedes drive is happening here, there is the Mercedes AMG GLE 63S Coupe 4MATIC plus V8 bi-turbo. Ooh, long name. People must be here. And off we go into first gear. Okay, now why would you buy the duplicate when you can get the original? Simply because you don't have to wait as much. Not many people want to buy a duplicate. That's the reason you can get the, I was going to name the car, but I'm supposed to say only Maruti Baleno with Toyota logo within a month's time after booking. But because the Maruti Baleno has become so popular, it's done I think 60-70,000 bookings already. Waiting can extend up to 4 months depending on the variant you want to opt for. That's the reason why you should get the original. In case you are in a hurry, you can get this Toyota badge version. By the way, why is Toyota doing all this? There's no reason for them to do it. Well, there is a reason actually. In comes CAFE, which is Corporate Average Fuel Efficiency Norms, which actually came in I think 2017 or something of that sort, wherein the average weighted average sales car average emissions has to be under 130 grams per kilometers. Okay, now in 2022 the version 2 of the same has come, wherein the overall average has to be under 113 gram per kilometer. Now we all know that Toyota majorly sells Innovas and Fortuners in diesel power. Bigger cars, diesel engines, big engines obviously emit a lot more. How will they be able to come under that average? If you don't come under that average of 113 grams per kilometer of CO2 emissions, you are screwed because you'll have to pay penalties for it. In comes this particular car as well as the Vitara Brezza with the Toyota logo, because using these two models, which are smaller in terms of size, more efficient and smaller engines as well, the carbon footprint reduces, CO2 emissions reduces, and the overall average of emissions also reduce, thereby helping Toyota comply. That's the only reason why this car exists. Otherwise it makes no sense because there's no innovation happening here. You're slapping your own logo. How does it help? And guys, overall I would say this is my very first video in my life which I've done without naming the car. Yes, I have not even named the car once in this whole vlog. You can go ahead and see it again. All I've said is this is the Maruti Baleno with the Toyota logo, and on that bombshell it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Another reason why you might want to buy this is Toyota's 60-minute scheduled service, which is not available with Maruti, but Maruti has more sales and service outlets. Overall Toyota service seems to be better, but you see a lot of cabbies there because Etios, Twins, of course, a lot of Innovas, all are cab operated, and then obviously the people who own Innovas, they don't really come to the dealership or the service center to get their car service into. First, you want to make a overtake, you have to ring the engine like mad. The horn is the biggest safety feature in the hills because this car just does not have that grunt. Yeah. Oh my god, body roll kicked in. I picked it up in second. I should get an achievement V. I have to get it in lower gear. Right now it's giving me a fuel efficiency of, what is the fuel? It's around 10 kilometers per liter. I'll drive a bit more, it will come to single digit numbers. That's what happens in the hills when you ring open the throttle. But hey, that's me. That's how it's done. Bye bye. Woo, woo, woo. कर दिया मैंने आज तो कमाल.
बस मुझे उल्टे आ रहे हैं.
उल्टी आ रही है? Okay. Here you want to vomit?
No.
Thank you for monitoring the camera. ऐसा कुछ दिख नहीं रहा. कर क्या रहे थे तुम?